Welcome back to another episode of Pants Picks. This is a show where I go through an NFL team's schedule and I predict the probability in which I think they're going to win each game, each week. And at the end, I'll have a win total, and I'll compare it with Vegas odds, and I'll also compare it with Bill, who is with me as always, and he's also known on the weekends as a breadstick expert. Bill, what makes a good breadstick?
Probably got to be the seasoning and just a little bit of salt with garlic.
Garlic, salt, and bread. They've come together for years and years, and you know how much I like bread.
Are you going to eat that?
Yeah, I am. I am going to eat it. I could really go for some bread right now. All right. Besides the breadsticks, which team do we got today, Bill?
Today we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 13-4 last season and first in the division. They lost in the divisional round against the Rams. Will this be Brady's last year? Will he retire in the offseason and then come back until he's 50? The team adds another weapon with Julio Jones as Gronk retires, and he actually stays retired. No surprises here. After the 53-man roster announcements, Tampa Bay is still the oldest team in the league. Do these snowbirds have one more in them?
You can't count. There's one player you can't count out. It doesn't matter how old he is. It's Tom Brady. And so he might have one more in him. He might be the main reason that they're old. I guess Julio Jones isn't young, but Tom Brady coming in. And he's really given Favre a run for his money with the retirement this year and then the comeback. I'm hoping for one more retirement and then a return right before training camp. Or no, right after training camp. Like right now he returns.
With another team? With a rival?
Ooh, yeah, with the Saints maybe. That would be wild. Either way, let's focus on 2022 right now, and Tom Brady is on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and playing and not retired. Let's check out this schedule. Week 1 at Dallas. Pretty exciting game. I believe they week one against Dallas at home last year. Let's go with 50%, and I will take the Buccaneers. I think they're still a better team, and I think they will win. Tom Brady will outclass Prescott even at 45. Week 2 at New Orleans. Oh, this New Orleans team has been a thorn in Brady's side for the past 2 years, but I think they're finally going to get the best of them. 75% at New Orleans. Week 3, hosting Green Bay. Which is a hot pick. That's cool stuff. Bill, why is this one a hot pick besides it's got the oldest quarterbacks ever in it?
It is definitely going to be an interesting matchup. We have week 3 versus Green Bay at home. Tampa Bay is -3.5. Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famer versus future Hall of Famer.
That's right.
12 versus 12. Brady versus Rodgers. Early in the season, they both should be healthy. Haven't faced too much hard competition at this point. Rodgers has more to prove coming off an MVP year. I expect Rodgers to make a statement in this game or die trying. I'm taking Green Bay on the money line in this potential shootout.
Ooh-wee. I'm going to agree with you. I think, I'll give it a 50-50, but I think Green Bay is going to win. I think Rodgers does have something to prove. His MVP by some people have been called false, that it should be Brady who won the MVP last year. Both these guys were finishing 1-2 in MVP voting. The old guard still reigns supreme at quarterback and MVP voting. We'll see if it continues this year. Week 4, hosting Kansas City. I am not sure if Patrick Mahomes has beaten Tom Brady yet. I don't know if there's any way to confirm or deny that. Maybe he beat them in 2019. I can't remember. But Tom Brady has had the Chiefs' number, beating them in the AFC Championship in 2018, beating them in the Super Bowl in 2020. This time, in Week 4, Kansas City is going to come into Tampa Bay and beat them 50-50. For this one, he has beaten him.
Twice in the regular season only.
I see. So, well, he's going to continue winning in the regular season. at least. Bill, will he continue winning in the regular season? What is your call on that?
I'm going to have to go with the Buccaneers on this one at home with the defense.
Yeah. All right. Week 5, hosting Atlanta. 100%. No conversation here. We'll continue on. Week 6 at Pittsburgh. I'll give him a 75%. His quick release will cause TJ Watt to not be much of a factor, and I think they're just going to be the superior team all around. Week 7 at Carolina. I'll give it a 75. I'll give them some sort of shot to lose, but they'll probably most likely win. But it is at Carolina, so we'll give them something. Week 8, hosting Baltimore. We'll go with a 50-50. I think Baltimore is going to be good, but I will take the Buccaneers in this one. Bill, 50-50, Buccaneers or Baltimore?
This one I also had as a 50-50. I think that Baltimore wins this one.
Ooh.
On the legs of Lamar.
I like that. On the legs of Lamar. Alliteration always makes things more beautiful. Week 9, hosting the Rams. 50-50, but I'm not going to tell you who's going to win that one. Bill, who's going to win that one? Are they going to get the revenge?
They are at home versus the Rams. Tampa Bay is currently -2. So I currently have this game at 1.5. This is a grudge match to the NFC divisional playoff game last year, where despite a late game push by Tom Brady, who tied it up in the 4th, the Rams got the ball back with 42 seconds left, converted 2 plays to Cooper Kupp for 64 yards, kicked a 30-yard field goal, walked off, no time left on the clock for Tom Brady to do his magic. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this one. I think that it would be a better line at 3.5.
Ooh. I'm feeling you on this. I am taking Tampa Bay as well in this game. I'll take them straight up. I think they're going to get the revenge 50-50, but I think they're going to get the revenge in this game. At home, rematch. It's going to be wild. So 50% on that one. Week 10. Hosting Seattle 100%, move on to the bye, which is also 100% not a win or a loss. Week 12 at Cleveland. This will be Watson as it stands today. Watson's first game back in Cleveland. I'm still going to go with the Buccaneers at a 75%. I just don't think they're going to be ready for it. They might be kind of falling out for the season. It's a hard call, but I'm just gonna take Cleveland as a team that's kind of reeling from this whole situation and not gonna be fully put together. I mean, if they are, that's great, but I don't trust them. Week 13, hosting New Orleans. I'll stick with another 75%. That looks pretty good. Week 14 at San Francisco. 50. And I think I'll give it to the Buccaneers. So, Bill, Shanahan, you think he's good enough to beat the great Tom Brady?
Oof. I think that at San Francisco kind of gives them a little bit of a bump, but I think that the defense from the Buccaneers is going to get over on the quarterback, if it's Lance or if it's Garoppolo. Who knows at this point? I'm not confident that Trey Lance has it in him to beat Tom Brady, the GOAT.
All right. Week 15, hosting Cincinnati. I'll go with 50% on this one as well. And I think they're going to take it. I think they'll take it at home. They'll beat Cincinnati on this one. It really is just a home game type of situation. I do think Tampa Bay is the better team. Cincinnati is, although they made it to the Super Bowl, I don't think they're as good as Tampa Bay. They haven't proven to be as good as Tampa Bay yet. We would definitely know by this game, but as of right now, I'll leave it at 50-50 with a nod to Tampa Bay at home. Week 16 at Arizona. we'll stick with the 50-50 because it's at Arizona. If it was at home, I might be leaning towards a 25, but I'm going to take Tampa Bay on this one as well. Week 17 hosting Carolina. We're going to go with a clean 100%. And we'll just move to 18 at Atlanta, 100%. They will still be playing, trying to beat out the Green Bay Packers, who will probably be a team with a lot of wins. All right. Calculating all the totals. My total, Bill's total, Vegas total, comparing and contrasting and pulling it up. Who do we got? Let's see it. Ooh, right on. Almost right on. Man, if I just gave a 25% to, where do I see it? Where do I think Bill gave it to him? Maybe at Dallas? Is that my guess here? Or maybe the 100% at Carolina? Bill, where's my 25% missing?
It was week 7.
100% against Carolina. That's the only difference you got.
Yep.
Woo! Dang. I guess I'm a Baker Mayfield boy, apparently. Or a Baker Mayfield man. Whatever you want to decide. Either way, this looks pretty run-of-the-mill from the Buccaneers. They have a very difficult schedule. Strength of schedule is 4th, so they do have to play some really good teams. They're going to stomp through their division, besides a possible loss from New Orleans, which probably won't happen. But at Dallas is tough. Green Bay, Kansas City, Rams. Those are all really difficult teams. San Francisco's not easy either. Arizona also not easy. Baltimore. So Cincinnati, wow, yeah, they have a really difficult schedule. 4th hardest, lots of good teams. NFC West, AFC North, 2 of the better divisions. So a lot of those are toss-ups, but it does give you. I don't want to take the over on this, but if you're thinking Tom Brady, he'll steal these games. You know, like. This is kind of how I more so predicted to go. Like, they'll beat Dallas, beat Green Bay, beat Kansas City, beat Baltimore and LA, Rams and Cincinnati and San Francisco, but then like lose both games to New Orleans because apparently they can't beat New Orleans. And then they'll lose to the Cardinals for some reason and like Pittsburgh, and they'll go like 14-3, but or like 14-3 or 13-4, and those are the teams they'll lose to. They're not going to lose to Atlanta, Carolina, or Seattle, but they'll lose to like a weird blocked punt for the win against Pittsburgh where Tom Brady scores like 9 points for some reason. And it will be that earlier game, It'll be like Pittsburgh that will beat them randomly. But either way, I don't want to do I wouldn't want to do 12. It's difficult to predict above 11.5 when I guess you're dealing with Tom Brady, who's only been injured like one time in his career, at least of note. And so he'll probably play all 18 games. They will push all 18 weeks, or all 17 games, all 18 weeks. They'll push all 18 weeks because they want to beat the Packers, who are going to be pushing 12 wins, I think, out of the NFC as well as the Rams. So it's not going to be like they're going to lock in the first seed easily. So I mean, you could go 12. But I think it's a real toss-up. We're all right there in the middle. I don't see anything less than 11, though. That's what's weird. We're ending up at the floor, but in reality, it just seems like I feel like we're all sitting at the floor. Like 11 is the floor, and then they could win up to 14. Bill, are we on the same page with this?
We are. I wonder, though, if Blaine Gabbert gets any wins this season. I'm wondering if he starts in Atlanta that last week. And it's definitely a team that he could beat, I think, Carolina and Atlanta in 17 and 18. I mean, which would be interesting.
That is a detail about week 18 that is, if it were the situation in which they were going to rest Tom Brady and some of the starters, I think that they still could win. Like I might still give them a 50% with the nod, or maybe even a 75% on that game. 100% clearly is the idea that Tom Brady would be playing, or he would probably be playing. But yeah, I agree with you on that.
And I'm not talking collusion here or any thing against the league, but it is kind of ironic. We've gone through a lot of teams so far this year, and looking at their schedule, it seems extremely balanced, extremely favorable, even though they have a tough schedule. I mean, we've seen some where, I don't know, like San Diego's playing a really tough stretch in the last half of their season.
Yeah.
It seems like, they play Arizona, and then they have the Cardinals. They have the Rams, and then they have Seattle. Like, I don't know,
KC
a
and
little
then
bit
Atlanta.
of a later bye too.
Yeah, a bye really close to the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got
it's just interesting. New Orleans, then Green Bay, Kansas City, then Atlanta. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's
there's
pretty
no
balanced,
there's
I
no
think.
3-game stretch that's just really bad. I mean, maybe San Francisco, Cincinnati, and Arizona, but that's the worst that it gets. Those 3 games in a row, and then the softest is probably Seattle, Cleveland, and New Orleans. If you're thinking, or maybe Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Carolina is probably softer than that. But yeah, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Carolina, Seattle, Cleveland, New Orleans, like those are their only soft. They have some soft spots a little bit, but my goodness, they have no. It's not like they're doing Baltimore, Rams, Niners, Cincinnati, KC, or something like that. In a row. Green Bay, KC in a row though. That's not fun. That's pretty tough. You could be looking at a team. You could legitimately be looking at a 1-3 Buccaneers team going into Week 5, but then they would immediately be 4-3, right, by Week 7, and then probably 6-4, and then 8-4, 9-4. 10-5, and then finishing the season 12-5. That's probably where I see it going. Like as the season boils down as a 12-5 finish, unless they don't want to play Atlanta and they actually lose, that would be surprising. But Tom Brady's seasons are. I mean, we've had so many of them, and they end up so similar. First seed, second seed, Super Bowl champion, in the Super Bowl maybe. So it seems pretty easy to just predict that if he stays the course, that's probably about how it's going to go. They'll start off a little tough, and then they'll clean it up, and by the end of the season, they'll just win the South and probably be a 1 or 2 seed, and that's about it. But I don't want to give him the 11.5 because that really hinges on the fact that Tom Brady does not get injured. He does not fall off at 45 years old, which is unbelievable. I mean, when we were freaking out about Brett Favre being being old, he was like 41, by the way. He's 4 years past that, and he's won a Super Bowl past that as well. So Tom Brady, there's just no reason to bet against. If somehow you can bet. You can't bet against time with Tom Brady. He's the only player that exists in the history of sports that you can do that. But we'll see. We'll see how the season works out. Maybe he'll fall off. Maybe you think he'll fall off. Maybe I think he'll fall. Maybe he'll just keep going. 15 wins, 14 wins. They were 13-4 last year. 13 wins. You want to take the over? Go ahead, take the over. Maybe he'll fall off, or maybe he'll just get injured and you'll take the under. Maybe it won't work out. Maybe it will. Maybe he's kind of half in, half out after his half retirement and then return. I mean, he even made an Instagram post for that. I think there was a picture of him driving off in the sunset in a cartoon sunset in a convertible. Was that right? Is that still on his Instagram? Did he have to take that down? I've got a lot of questions about that. But it is Tom Brady. So let me know what you think. Is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? Is he going to win another one? Is he going to go for 8? Is he going to make it 11 appearances? Write it in the comments. What do you think the schedule is going to be? What are the games you're looking forward to? Go through the schedule yourself. 25, 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. Probably no 0s or 25s unless you apparently have been watching football the past 20 years, but you can decide. Maybe you think it's over for him. I'd love to hear it. So write it in the comments. Let us know what games you're looking forward to, matches up you're looking forward to, and tell us why you're excited about the upcoming NFL season. I know I sure am excited. And as always, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.